All right, so Wren, I happen to know this, so I'm going to put you in the spot. You didn't want to know these questions up front, so you want to be surprised. Anyway, so Wren, I happen to know that you and Blair Underwood, actor Blair Underwood, have been working for some time on a documentary project about Hollywood portrayals of Black people. And what motivated you to take up this project in the first place? And what are some of the things you learned in the process that you feel the broader community should be aware of?
I won't use the microphone.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Robert, I didn't mean to offend. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As was stated moments ago, my name is Wren Troy Brown, and I'm so pleased to be here with all of you. And I'm thankful to Dr. Hunt and the organizers of this conference for including all of us. And just as a point of personal privilege, I have to say that I did my first national commercial in 1976 as a sixth grader at Elsa Elementary School here. And then I made my real professional debut on March 17, 1982. I did the first ever national commercial for Chicken McNuggets. You didn't see it tonight. I made my television debut doing Knight Rider, a 2-hour season premiere one year. But I'm most proud of the fact that someone here tonight gave me my first job on screen, and his name is Robert Townsend in the Hollywood Shuffle. I'm just honored to have been a part of the Hollywood Shuffle. Robert referenced the character Bobby Taylor, and it is amazing that 29 years ago, we made it in '86, it came out in '87 under Samuel Goldwyn. But we were on Orange Drive in Washington Boulevard, just 2 blocks west of La Brea, in front of Keenan Ivory Waynes' home that had much more dirt than grass, right? I'm not speaking pejoratively, I'm telling you the truth. Where we had one another bringing potluck, and that was lunch. But we created a chant during one of the scenes where I appeared, and it was, "You'll be a star very soon because Bobby Taylor is a coon." No more Bobby Taylors, no more Bobby Taylors. That was a picketing chant. And Dr. Hunt, specifically to your question, we have created Blacks in Entertainment dealing with the history of images coming from the plantation, all these historical tropes that we address in society, because there is a real need. I believe that particularly Black people, I cannot speak for the breadth of the ethnic minority, but I include the other. We are very near to our peril. Images travel across the world with immediacy and devastate us. The misogyny within images, we live in a patriarchal society, but the misogyny that's present in so many of these images is unbelievable. One of the things that we suffer from, and the great Harold Cruz talked about this, he talked about historical discontinuity. That's what we are struggling with. Robert Townsend is aware of Oscar Michaud and Spencer Williams and Uzan Palsy. He doesn't believe that he exists without Gordon Parks. We know that, and so to be introduced to Robert Townsend, in Cooley High, and then to see the magnificent performance in Soldier Story. These are the realities that we're facing. If it were not for Norman Jewison's consciousness, being of Judaic strain from Canada, he wouldn't have hired Charles Fuller, who had written the play Soldier's Play, which won a Pulitzer Prize. He had to fight Columbia to get the man hired. So there is about a consciousness, and a usable consciousness. So we created this documentary because it's terribly necessary. When I look at these images today, Robert, you referenced How to Get Away with Murder, you referenced Scandal. But I would submit to you that though these Black actresses are brilliant and doing wonderful roles in very powerful positions, I would say to you that when I look at Louise Beavers and I look at Hattie McDaniel and Teresa Harris and Butterfly McQueen, there was another kind of integrity and dignity in their work. Though the frame was narrow for them, there was an integrity and a dignity, and there were morals present. There was the hush harbor present. And so this is not to be denigratory of the work of these actresses, because they are brilliant, without question. The point I'm saying, if we go back to look at Hattie McDaniel particularly, and Butterfly McQueen in 1939, with David O. Selznick's Gone with the Wind, we are seeing women who, through all of their work, the work in Beulah, Ethel Waters and others, there was integrity, there was dignity. We could be proud of that work because we knew that there was a real covert disposition and they were going to bring something that was usable home. So that's why we began to make this, because we need to see ourselves as whole. We don't need to continue to see ourselves as a balkanized community. We need to see ourselves as an accumulated entity that really honors one another. And so the second part of your question, if you give me again, I'll drill down on that. But I'm sorry for the preamble, but that's how I can respond thus.